Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Got Spurs starting with me. United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. 5 defeats in the Premier League in our last 6 games. 9 points away from the top 4. Alex, what did you make of today's game?
Well, I'm just a little bit frustrated at the moment. I'm really frustrated at the moment with the whole thing. Really, we let in that goal, which wasn't a disaster. Because I thought that we could have done better for me in terms of defending. It was a bad mistake from the defenders. But, and then we had all that first half where, West Ham did defend very well, but we didn't do anything, you see. And then the second half came along. Gareth Bale came on and Doherty, and they did have an effect on the game. So, yeah, it's just a bit frustrating at the moment, really. That we've lost that game due to 2 mistakes, defensive mistakes, and it's just it doesn't look good for the top 4 now. To be honest, I think it's over now. To be honest with you,
Alex, a lot of Tottenham fans, including myself, are very, very frustrated with the amount of mistakes that we keep making, and it is now every single week, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it's frustrating. I mean, I say it's down to a collective. I think Jose needs to take responsibility as well as the players. I think the players have got to take more of the responsibility because, there's only so much a manager can do, I would say. But I still think he needs to take responsibility of that because at the end of the day, he's picking those players. I understand why Sanchez played because he's got more pace than Alderweireld. So, I mean, I understand why he plays Sanchez and maybe Dyer as well because Dyer, unfortunately, he's a left-footed defender, so it wouldn't make sense to put 2 right-footers on the pitch in the defence. So it wouldn't really make sense. So, but it is frustrating. It is very frustrating. I think that's our Achilles heel at the moment, unfortunately.
Alex, how does Jose Mourinho turn this around? Because of course, at the start of the video, I said we're 9 points away now from that top 4 place, and we have lost 5 out of our last 6 Premier League games. That's like relegation form, isn't it?
Well, I think, like I said, I think he needs to take responsibility. I don't think what helped was what didn't help was the way that he ostracized the 2 Bell and Ali during January. I don't think the speculation helped in terms of the squad. I think we were over reliant on Kane and Son because I felt that Kane and Son if Kane and Son weren't there. What happens? Obviously, we can say about investment and stuff, but he did get backed in the summer for me. Yes, he didn't get his defender, but I think there was a choice between getting a left back, which was Reguilon, or getting Skriniar, and they ended up getting Reguilon, and they didn't have enough money for the centre back. But I mean, it's a combination of lots of things, I would say. And what we need to do now is just focus on trying to get through to the cup, the Carabao Cup. But the most important thing is trying to do well in the Europa League because I think that was the thing that's going to keep players here like Kane and Son for me. I think that's where they're going to see them moving forward as far as I'm concerned.
Well, as far as you're concerned, what does keep Harry Kane and Heung-min Son? What, winning the Europa League?
Yeah, totally. I'm sorry. I don't feel that the Carabao Cup's going to be enough because when you look at it from Kane's point of view, if he went to England, because he goes to England's Euros, he's going to have a lot of players coming up to him saying, well, I've won the Carabao Cup. And then Sterling's going to come up to him and potentially saying, well, I've won the Champions League and won the Premier League and I've won it how many times now? And he's going to think that, well, I'm sorry, but am I better than you? I've been the top goal scorer in the Premier League for how many seasons and got all these accolades. And all I've got is a Carabao Cup to show for it. That for me is not a good thing for me, really. I want the big trophies. You see what I'm saying? I want to look back at my career and think I've won the big trophies rather than just saying I've just won a Carabao Cup. And that's a fact, really, isn't it, really? The big players want the big trophies. And that's it, really.
Alex, how are you feeling about manager Jose Mourinho at the moment? Because I'm very mixed about it. I can see a lot of pros and a lot of cons of having Jose Mourinho as our manager. I'm not Jose out at this stage. Even though we've lost 5 out of 6 Premier League games in our last 6 matches, but Ken writes on screen now. Jose trains, sets tactics, and picks a team. The buck stops with him. Premier League season is done. There is lots of messages like this and lots of comments like this today. What do you think about Jose Mourinho? Is he the right man to take us forward?
Well, from the very beginning, when I spoke to you at the stadium, I don't like Jose. I can't stand him. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think he should have had the job in the first place. I think Pochettino stayed because I thought that.
Surely, Alex, as all of us Tottenham fans, whoever the manager is, we have to back the manager because we all want the same thing. We all want to see Tottenham Hotspur win matches.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And when I was just going to come to my point, what I'm saying is, yes, even though I don't like Jose, I know that he's staying because Tottenham can't afford to sack him. But the point is, the reason why Jose came in the first place was to get top 4, get Champions League. That was the main thing from the board, okay? He's failing at the moment, okay? Because the thing is, though, if Pochettino was the only reason why he got sacked, because if he was not doing that well, after that Champions League final, they should have sacked him because Mourinho was available then, for me, okay? He was available then, prime and ready to take over the team. But they choose to do it because they were worried about top 4 Champions League, okay? Now, because this is where I think he needs to take responsibility of the squad, okay? I think because they've got 3 scenarios here. They either sack Mourinho and get somebody like Pochettino manager, like a Rodgers or whoever, Nagelsmann, whatever it is, back Jose and do what, okay, like the guy, like Terry says on the Football Terrace, do what Jose wants, okay? Or get a third option, get an assistant in, like the Newcastle have done with Graham Jones, get somebody in who can challenge Jose and be a man manager to the squad and also drill the players. And I think that's one of the scenarios I think needs to happen because I think what I see at the moment, the coaching staff, because I thought Sacramento was a very good coach as well, really, for me. So I thought he would be opposing to Jose, giving new ideas. I think haven't got strong enough coaches below Jose to challenge him on looking on different options or different scenarios and stuff like that. I think it's all about Jose in that coaching staff. And I think you need somebody with a character to help him manage the squad, manage the squad, okay, also drill them as well. I think that's what we need to do right now at the moment. Obviously, next in the summer, we'll see what happens in terms of changing the squad around. But I still got questions on that because we've always had that problem of trying to sell players, haven't we? So that's one thing I would suggest to try and improve things right now, I would say.
Alex, do you think Tottenham deserve something out of the game today? Because, of course, we did have quite a few chances in that second half.
Yes, I think we played well in the second half, I thought. I mean, Gareth Bell, for me, I never really, I wasn't too excited. I thought it was desperate for me at the beginning. For me, I never was getting excited. I thought, what's the point of getting him? Because I just thought, he hasn't got that pressing sort of guy. I thought he's very slow, and I didn't know how he's going to fit in. My opinion of Bell at the moment, we've got him now, and I don't like him down that right hand side anymore. I like him. I think he should be up front for me because I think you saw against Man City when he gets into the box, he's very lethal. He's got that skill about him. He's got that, he's got that skill about him. He hasn't got the pace, and you can see it against Wolfsburg on Thursday when you had the defender against him. He hasn't got the pace to get past players like Moira's got and Bergwijn's got. So I think he should play more up front or play alongside Kane or something like that, because I think he's really lethal in the box and give him a free roll because he looked really good having a free roll today. You see what I'm saying? He was everywhere and he's trying to put ping balls, trying to find it, and he's causing West Ham a lot of problems for me, really. So I think to get the best out of him, I think you need to give him a bit more of a free role for me and get him near the box, because I think he causes more chaos for me.
Alex, do you see Tottenham turning this around this Premier League season and getting a European place?
Probably we will do. I'm fairly confident that we'll win the Carabao Cup. I'm fairly confident because I think that Jose will find a system to get the better of Manchester City for me. But even if we do win the Carabao Cup, I still don't think it's for me. My expectations, even though the squad's not good enough, is top 4 or Champions League. So for me, if we can win the Europa League, I think that changes people's opinions on Tottenham completely. I think it does a lot for Tottenham for next season, because I think people will start to look at them and say, okay, you've won a major trophy. You got into the Champions League, and I think it will attract a lot of players. But I think I mean, it's going to be a struggle now, isn't it? The champion to get into Champions League. We might scrape into Europe, but is that good enough? I'm going to stick by my opinion. I don't think it is, unfortunately.
Do you think that was always Jose Mourinho's plan to target these 2 trophies like he did at Manchester United, to get into the finals and perhaps win these 2 competitions, the League Cup final and the Europa League Cup, and then of course qualify for the Champions League that way, and then try and get some investment from the board in the summer?
Well, that's the main thing, isn't it? We need Champions League. I mean, even you say it, and I love your saying, the trophies are coming. You know what I mean?
Alex, I've not said that. I've not said that for a while. I'll tell you. So someone's just written on screen there. How am I sitting here with a straight face and not fuming? I am fuming because I'll tell you what. You know, watching us lose every week at the moment is no fun. It really isn't. You know, I'm so used to being at these games, and particularly during COVID-19, of course, we're all having to watch them at home on the TV. But I tell you what, I think that it would really help Tottenham Hotspur Football Club at the moment if the fans were in there, because you know, we would get behind the boys. And I tell you what, we need something to change, and really fast, because it is no fun at all watching us losing games, particularly after all of us can see the mistakes coming every single week. It's just so frustrating at the moment. Alex, we've got Burnley next in the Premier League at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next weekend. How do you see this game going? And is this at the point where Tottenham will turn it around?
I mean, we've got the Europa League first, haven't we? So, you know, we have to see how that goes first, who plays in that game. And then we'll see what happens in the Burnley game. I mean, we just got to keep on going, Chris. You know, we just need to keep on going. Because at the end of the day, you know, it isn't a good season at the moment. And the thing that worries me at the moment is that without Champions League, we're not going to have investment. Okay, teams are extremely ahead of us, and the team that's worrying me at the moment is Leicester. Leicester have, you know, been very good in the market in terms of recruitment, and really done really well in terms of involving their players. Because when you look at some of their players, like Maddison, Tielemans. I can't remember some of the other ones as well. They're not brilliant players, but they've been, coached really well, drilled with so well that they're really playing within themselves. You know what I mean? So as a team, so it's worrying for me that we're going backwards. That's what worries me. We have to see what happens with West Ham this season and where they finish, and see what happens next season. But Everton are like that as well, and Arsenal will go forward as well. And so, with the top four, like Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, who else is there? There's loads of other. There's another one that I might put, Chelsea as well. We're falling behind. So that's the worry for me. That is the worry for me. You see what I'm saying? And the thing that annoys me about some Tottenham fans at the moment is that they say, well, it's not Mourinho's fault because Mourinho's a serial winner. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but he needs to take responsibility. He needs to take responsibility for this. Whether or not the players are making mistakes or not, yes, you can't blame him for the mistakes, but he's the one that coached the players, and you know, and also say it is his fault. You know, he has to take responsibility as well as the players. It's a collective. You know, it's not just one. It's not just the players' fault. It's the manager's fault. Because when Tottenham win games like early in the season, which I thought was very lucky for me because it was all Son and Kane for me and Højbjerg, right? Everyone was saying, "Oh, Mourinho's fantastic. Mourinho's doing this and Mourinho's doing that right and everything else." So it's like when things are going wrong, you still have to look at the manager. You see what I'm saying? So I just think it's silly to think that it's not the manager's fault as well. It's a collective. You know what I mean? But mostly the players as well, I think.
Alex, with you saying that, last question for you. What comes first? Jose Mourinho winning a trophy at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club or Jose Mourinho being sacked?
I think it's going to be a trophy. I don't think they'll sack him. They can't afford to sack him. Who's going to take over the team? Who's going to take over the team? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You know I don't like Jose. You know I don't like Jose. You know after that Liverpool game, I said to you, you should never have sacked Pochettino. Yeah, I said to you that. Yeah, but
yeah, but I go on about Pochettino a lot, and I rightly get put back in my place and say, well, Pochettino's not our manager anymore. There's no point dwelling in the past about Pochettino. We've got to support the manager that we've got now. A lot of us have tried to support the manager, and we do support the manager. Ultimately, we all want the same thing as Tottenham Hotspur fans. We want to see our team play attractive football. We want to see our team do well. And ultimately, Alex, we want to see our team win trophies. Now, there's no better person to come into our football club than Jose Mourinho to win a trophy. So we're all praying and hoping that Jose Mourinho does the job. But, this Premier League form, 5 defeats out of the last 6 Premier League games is simply not good enough. So I'm hoping that Jose Mourinho will get time because, if there's anyone out there who's going to deliver Spurs trophies, then surely he has to be the one. And I've said many times as well, when you've got such a fantastic coach in Pochettino, took us to a Champions League final, not spent a penny in 518 days, fantastic job he done at Spurs. And when you bring then a manager like Jose Mourinho in with his record, if Pochettino can't do it, if Mourinho can't do it, who on earth are you going to bring in next to try and do it? Because you've had 2 great managers at Spurs, in that respect. So it'll be interesting.
I totally agree with you, Terry. I do totally agree with you, Terry. Chris, sorry, Chris. I do totally agree with you, Chris. But I that's what I'm saying to you. You know I don't like the manager. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not stupid to say, you've got to be critical. You've got to look at it from you've got to look at it from a critical point of view. He could have managed the players better. You see what I'm saying? He could have managed the players better. Okay, from beginning to end, because he was using a certain amount of players, like Højbjerg, for instance, Kane, Son, and they ran out of steam. You see what I'm saying? It was just all about those 3 players for me. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem. That was the problem, one. Okay, and yeah, he needs time. Yes, the thing that annoys me about the whole thing is that the thing is that they're saying that he should get sacked, and who's getting linked? People like Nagelsmann, Rodgers, who else? Hasenhüttl. Who they like? Pochettino. You see what I'm saying? It's just, this is the thing. It was always going to be like that if it didn't work out with Mourinho. But for me, we can't afford to sack him. You see what I'm saying? So my suggestion of bringing in somebody else to help him out, I think is a good suggestion. Because unfortunately, I don't think it's just about Jose here. I look at Ledley King and Sacramento. They're not strong enough, unfortunately, to challenge Jose on his ideas. Okay, we haven't got a man manager there to manage these players. Okay, whether we get rid of the players that we don't want, that's fine. But when you get new players in, when they don't have form, may not have good form going forward, you need somebody who's going to manage them, put an arm around them, have different language, like not saying, don't do this, don't do that. When Jose says, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, the players are thinking, well, I'm not going to do that, because if I do that, I'm not going to be in the team. Where if you say, or maybe if you think about trying to go into this position and maybe cross it in, or go into this position, you might be in the best position to find the player to pass them into the goal. You see what I'm saying? So it's maybe more positive language rather than Jose's directness. It may be better for these sorts of players, or the players that may come in the summer. That's what I'm suggesting at the moment. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, he shouldn't go. I don't think. I mean, I'd love to get a different manager in if it was the best, if we had money. But no, we can't do that. I think that's my answer anyway.
Alex, I could talk to you about Tottenham Hotspur all day, and certainly Mauricio Pochettino and Jose Mourinho. Let's have you back on the channel in the near future on a longer video, Alex, perhaps with a couple of other Spurs fans, you know, on one of the Spurs chat shows. That'd be great if you can come on. Thank you very much for talking to me today.
Can I just shout out to my? Can I just shout out to? Can I just shout out? Sorry to interrupt you. Can I just shout out to the Football Terrace? The Football Terrace is a channel, a YouTube channel for all fans, Tottenham fans, everywhere, everyone. I'm just on the show now. And yeah, I know you, Terry. I know you, Chris. Sorry, I know you, Chris, that you're coming on the show soon as well. Because Elena, who's a host on the show, has invited you, which I'm so glad. I'm really glad. And I also want to thank you, Chris, because you know you were a brilliant. You were my first fan cam, which I really enjoyed. And the work that you've done behind the scenes has been fantastic. The stadium updates. I watched it every single day, every single week. Loved it. So yeah, thank you to you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Alex. I'm sure you enjoyed a lot of panel talk on there. So we'll end it on that on a smile. Alex, thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you. Thank you.